Well, Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta will be meeting President Jacob Zuma tomorrow. And our Foreign Editor Sophie Mokoena joins us on the line to discuss this further. A very good afternoon to you, Sophie. We hear that President Kenyatta will be meeting with President Jacob Zuma tomorrow. But take us through the current relations between South Africa and Kenya at government level.
Well, you know, Alicia, that President Jacob Zuma has visited Kenya as head of state to strengthen the relations, and the relations between the two countries are sound. But there is a technicality on issues that relates to issues of visa. You are aware that during his inauguration speech, President Kenyatta announced that he will allow Africans to travel freely in his country. But the issue is, will the Kenyans themselves be warmly received in other countries, or the same thing will apply to the citizens of Kenya? We know that there has been that standoff, particularly when coming to Home Affairs and the Ministry of the Interior in Kenya because of the issue of visas. But also, you know very well that South Africa is involved in assisting South Sudan, and also Kenya is involved in the South Sudan matter. I think that issue will be high on the agenda.
All right, and Sophie, do you see any pattern or why this particular time for his visit? Maybe clarify in detail for us what exactly is the history between the Kenyattas and the ANC, if there's any.
Well, you are aware that after the banning of the ANC, O.R. Tambo, the former president of the ANC, the late former president of the ANC, was tasked with the responsibility to strengthen the party outside the country. And O.R. Tambo interacted with leaders such as Kwame Nkrumah, Haile Selassie, Julius Nyerere, and Jomo Kenyatta, who are the founding fathers of the African Union. When you look at currently what's happening within the ANC, the current leader of the ANC is trying to go back to the basics, to try and revive or evoke the principles of the founding fathers of the ANC. When the ANC was launched, the intention was not only to unite South Africans, but the Africans in general. It is for that reason that people like Pixley Zayagasen and the former president of the ANC also, they were actually talking about the unity that includes uniting the entire continent. Yes. And you know that the former president of the ANC, Thabo Mbeki, also hammered on that issue of strengthening the relations between South Africa and the rest of the continent, and also at the political party level. That is why I have heard, and we got a confirmation from our correspondent in Kenya, Saraki Mani. He spoke to President Kenyatta's spokesperson that yes, tomorrow afternoon at 4, he's meeting the head of state, that is President Jacob Zuma, and of course will be part of the celebrations here in East London on Saturday. So for South Africans, for the ANC, for the Africans, people know very well that the ANC has been part of the continental struggle and the fight against colonialism. It is for that reason ANC has got relations with many countries on the continent, dating back during the time where ANC and other liberation organizations were fighting for the freedom of South Africa. They created relations. Some of the senior leaders were in exile. Former President Mandela was trained in Algeria. We know very well that Mbeki stayed for a long time in Tanzania, in Nigeria, and you have President Zuma, who was in Mozambique, who was in Lusaka, the same with Thabo Mbeki, but also some in Zimbabwe. Therefore, ANC is Africa, or is part of Africa, and Africa is part of ANC.
All right. And Sophie, a very quick one before I let you go. We understand he will be, as you've mentioned, he will be taking part during this weekend's celebrations. But do you know if he's going to make any formal speeches or participate in any professional or legal capacity as a Kenyan president within the ANC deliberations?
Well, clearly, the ANC is a political party. On Saturday, I expect him to attend here on behalf of the Jubilee Party more than the government. Of course, the meeting with President Jacob Zuma, it will be government to government, two heads of state meeting. That's where they can discuss issues that are related to the two countries in general. But with the ANC, it will be a political interaction, I suspect. I even expect him to be wearing his Jubilee regalia. That's my suspicion, because it will be a political party gathering. But let's wait and see.
All right. All right, that's a very bad line, Sophie. I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave it there. That is our reporter there, of course, Foreign Editor Sophie Mokoena on the line to us. And of course, she is in East London, and she's just told us that we are expecting Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta to be meeting with President Jacob Zuma tomorrow on the sidelines of course, the January 8th statement that will be taking place in East London this weekend.